2.
Hello everyone, Kathy Buccio here from Talk Shop Live, and I mean, what a way to kick off Friday, because I am sitting here with Grammy winner, global superstar Shaggy, who is here. We're going to talk about his new album, Lottery, that is coming to you, and you can get it right here on Talk Shop Live. I'm so excited to dive into all of this, but before we do that, reminder, if you want to get a signed copy, I mean, how generous of you to sign all those copies.
Oh, absolutely.
All right?
Yeah.
Copies of CDs and the vinyl as well. You can get it here by clicking the shop button. If you're watching on Facebook and Instagram, comment the word shop. You're going to get a link directly into your DMs to purchase. And if you're watching on YouTube, click the link in description, and that way that album can come straight to your home. And why not? Buy 1, 2, or 3, right?
As much.
We're buying them all.
One for your aunt, your sister, your cousin.
Everyone needs a new Shaggy album. Everybody. So congratulations.
Thank you, man.
On the album. I mean, first of all, the title, this is really signifies an idea of betting on yourself.
Yeah.
And how you've been basically your biggest advocate.
Yeah.
Your whole career. So can you talk a little bit about what that means to you?
I mean, you know, in dancehall and reggae, take for instance, you look at, say, your biggest network station right now is iHeart. You know, they have around 900 to 1,000 stations. How many of them are reggae? 0. So when you think about it, how did a guy like me get on major radio stations? I really had to go 10 times harder, right? Write songs to me 10 times better, right? And work with 10 times less, you know, sleep and 10 times less budget, just to actually have a level playing field to compete.
Right.
You know, because our genre is you know, such a small genre that for us to compete, there's no major record company or anybody that's going to spend that kind of money, because in their mind they wouldn't have seen a return. Because before me, there was no one else that was doing it on that level, you know. And to this day, we still have the only Billboard #1 album,
Incredible.
in dancehall. You know what I mean? And the only diamond-selling dancehall album ever. You know what I mean? So there are a lot of firsts that we were. You know, Mr. Boombastic was the first dancehall record to ever debut. To this day, from a Jamaican artist to debut at #1 in the British chart. You know, Oh Caroline's the first dancehall #1 in the British chart. So there were a lot of firsts that we did, and that didn't happen without me betting on myself, because at the time it was easy, as in music now, it's easy to cookie cut.
Right.
You know, radio's playing a certain type, a certain tempo. You know, I remember going in the studio, it's like, well, that's not going to work. The tempo they have needs to be at, you know, 100, or it needs to be at 98 or whatever it is. And I'm like, yeah, but this ain't the feel I'm on right now. And sticking to your guns when A&Rs are coming in and telling you this can't happen and that can't happen, you know, you only really have to bet on yourself and really believe that you're gonna win. And so Lottery just embodies that for me.
I think it's also a fact that you've always stayed true to who you are, your origin, your style, your vibe. And as we are in like an evolving, I think, music industry and culture, yet who you are, your spirit still remains the same. Do you think that that's also the reason why you've been able to be in this game for so many decades?
It's so hard to do that, by the way, and you're absolutely right. It's hard to really stay true to yourself in it, you know, especially when you have people that you're dealing with, you know, whether it be record companies or marketing people or whatever, telling you like, well, you need to be this and you need to be that. You know, I remember when I started, you know, everybody thinks I need to have dreadlocks and smoke weed and wear red, green, and gold, you know, and I'm like, yeah, but a lot of you don't live in Jamaica, and I was born there. I was born and raised there, and not everybody walks around like that.
Right.
You know, not everybody looks, you know, the way that you think every Jamaican's supposed to look. You know what I mean? So I got a lot of pushback, and it's funny enough, I'm kind of ahead of my time. When I listen to dancehall music now, it's hybrid. Because what I was doing at the time was really a hybrid music. You know, it's a hybrid style of dancehall, and I was criticized heavily for it by the purists at the time, you know. Some were saying I'm not Jamaican, I'm not authentic, I'm not this, I'm not that. But if you listen to the music that they're doing now, it's literally what I have used to do that they're doing right now.
Right, which has gone more mainstream, right?
Which is now more mainstream, because now everything is blowing up. You know, I did my thing, Sean came and did a thing, you know, a couple of artists, Buju, a couple of these guys, they opened the doors.
And we're seeing with this album, with Lottery, there's a lot of that dancehall, there's the reggae, there's hip hop, there's a little bit of everything sort of infused in this record. So tell me a little bit about when you went in and you started writing the music and you started recording it. What was the feeling? What was that you wanted to come across message-wise too, especially with the music?
I missed the hybrid. So I still wanted to maintain that hybrid vibe that I've always done, that has always served me well. I literally just did a Shaggy album. I didn't do a trending album. I didn't do an album that I did what I am known for and what I am good at doing.
Right.
Was just creating that Shaggy sound. Because throughout the years that I've done music, it's always Shaggy's music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's no one that sounds like me. There's no one that does, write songs the way I write them. And I've just always been that guy. So what I did on this album, was I did love songs. I did a lot of love songs. I did songs that were like, so everything had to be relatable.
Right.
And that's the main thing we write. I remember Lionel Richie told me years ago, he's like, I've only written one song. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
It's Lionel Richie?
Yeah, Lionel Richie, man. And he was like, yeah, I written one song. It's called I Love You. And then he sang, once, twice, three times a lady, and I love you. Lady, you're my light and shining armor, and I love you. And I'm like, wow. It's like, Red, it's real. It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because whether you're young, you're old, you're black, you're white, you're straight, you're gay, you're Muslim, you're Jewish, you're Christian, you whatever it is, we all love. So it wasn't me. It was the same way. It's either you're banging or you know somebody was banging. You wish you banging it. It is relatable.
I love that. But then I look at you, though. You're sitting here, and I can't help but think, I'm like, this man has put so many people on the dance floor. Maybe led to a few babies or so. Who knows?
Oh yeah, I got kids that with my name that are born with their middle name is like Shaggy, like Winston Shaggy Samuels.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, it just says, well, you were there. Because we were playing your music when little Jimmy was conceived, So we weren't. Now I'm just like, it wasn't me. Just
another plug. That is amazing. But to think that when people speak of you and they speak about not just your legacy, but they say you really bring joy. And I think as an artist, that is, to be able to do, that's a gift. And to be able to say, people say you bring joy. That's gotta mean.
Well, the music was actually made with joy. There was a lot of banter and jokes and fun. And I come from joy. I was raised by women, and it was always fun and always laughter in my home. And so you kind of bring that to the music to this day that we're making music. It's still about having a good time and going on the dance floor and feeling good about yourself.
I love that. Okay, I'm going to remind everyone, if you want to hear the album, it's absolutely incredible. Make sure that you click the shop button. You're going to get a signed copy, a CD or vinyl or both, and you can buy a few of them. And if you're watching on Instagram and Facebook, comment the word shop. You're going to get a link directly into your DM to purchase. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to click the link in subscription so you can get your copy now. So you have a lot of collaborators that you've obviously worked with in the past, and on this album, there's Akon, there's Robin Thicke, there's Sting.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about obviously the big collaborations and why you keep coming back to them. But I think you also do something which is really special, which is that you like to bring on newer generation, maybe artists that are not as out there.
Right.
So can you tell me first about working with like the big names, which you're always collaborating with, but then on the other side of the spectrum, here you are doing.
Well, I don't do a lot of big name collaborations throughout my whole career. If you look at some of my big songs, like It Wasn't Me was an unknown artist by the name of Rick Rock. I did Angel with my longtime collaborator Ray Vaughn, who at that time nobody really knew who he was. Even recently we did Go Down There with me and Spice and Sean Paul. Sean Paul is a big act, but they're a local artist. I'm very proud of that record because it was from a local record company, which is a Jamaican label and 3 Jamaican artists. So it's cool. And normally people are like, well, a record doesn't happen unless you got a big, pop or U.S. feature or something like that.
Right.
I love when something like that happens. So I normally go for people who just, I make the song dictate the collaboration.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'll write a song, and I was like, wow, this sound like this person. With Lottery, you know, in doing this album, it was kind of like the same vibe. You know, I did Lottery when I wrote that song, and I was thinking about who I could, you know, make singing it. And once I'm listening to the tone, I'm starting thinking about who do I know that I have a relationship with.
That would be good for this.
Right. So if I get the tone of voice and I'm hearing that, I was like, I'm starting thinking about who is it that I've encountered that me and them were cool.
Right.
You know, so I was, oh yeah, Jeremiah. We just toured together in Australia. You know, him and I were partying together, da 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 da. Let me hit him up. And because there was always already a rapport. Same thing with Looking Lovely, which is a single that's out now. Mm-hmm. I did a show with Robin Thicke, and him and I just connected, me, him, and it was Wycliffe, and all of us was there. And I just said, let me just call him. I said, hey, I got this record. I played it for him, and it was like, wow, this is fantastic. Yeah, I'm on. You know, so that's how these records, it comes up from a rapport of me and them just connected. Sting, of course, is my brother, so that's, common assault at this point. And listen, there's a lot of people who love to get Sting on a record, you know what I mean? But him and I it's, again, a relationship.
Right.
You know, so those are the types of things that I try to connect. I don't just like, okay, just send me a verse, or this artist is hot, let me go for the
right.
artist. It's really about the sound of the record.
Okay, you have a lot of #1 hits.
Thank you.
And now we have a massive success with Looking Lovely as well.
Yeah. Top 40, big up.
There you go.
Radio, yeah.
When you think about looking back at your career and looking back at the work you've done, how has it changed? I mean, as you see the evolution of every album you've done.
Yeah.
Is there something, there's like a common denominator besides the fact that you bring joy, but is there something that you see your growth as an artist, or anything that's particularly different in each album that you do?
Well, I always say I could only give you the best of me at that time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I never sit down and try to recreate what I've done, because I'm not there. The person you are now is not the same person you were 5 years ago, and you will not be the same person the next 5 years. So I expect everything to be the same. You know what I mean? And that's boring. Who wants to do the same thing over again?
No one.
You know, so for me, I have to give you the best version of me at that time.
Okay.
You know, it took me 8 years to make an album, because I kept changing it, because I didn't know what version of me I wanted to showcase.
Interesting.
You know, and I wrote some stuff, and at the time when I wrote those stuff, by time I was having different thoughts about them, and it was like I didn't feel it. I'm allowed to change my mind also. This is what this generation does. Sometimes they hold you to, oh well, he said this and said that. It was like, yeah, well, I said that and I meant that then.
Right. I'm a different person, or
yeah. Now I don't. You know, it's cool to do that. You know what I mean? Because you're always changing. You're always growing. You know what I mean? The universe teaches you. Life teaches you. You know, and life humbles you at a certain point. So the place that I'm at right now, where I'm making it, is just a place where I'm just older, wiser, and I felt it was time. I did Spice's album, you know, produced and wrote that, you know. I was helping other people. I did, you know, songs with Kes, was writing Mood for Kes, and doing all these other records, because that was where my energy was, until it got to me doing this. It was like, okay, this is what I feel like doing, and this is what it feels like, what it sounds like right now coming out of me.
right.
Now, if I tell you I'm going to do another record next year, it might be a whole different sound, whole different feel, whole different vibe, because I might not be on this vibe that I'm on right now.
Right. You're not stagnant.
Nah, yeah, so I keep moving.
Absolutely. Okay, so I have fan questions.
Sure.
All right, so Rebecca wants to know, beautiful cover. Is there a story behind how you decided to shoot it?
Yes, big up to Rebecca. My wife's name is Rebecca, so.
We like that, extra special.
Extra special. I'm older now, you know. Even the way my wardrobe is and how I dress, how I carry myself, all of that is different. And so I needed that grown and sexy look, you know. I still got to be Mr. Lover, still got to be mysterious, you know. Still got to have that mystery to it, which is when you see half the face and how it looks on the cover. And So I wanted it to be that mysterious, but feels grown.
Okay.
You know.
Gina wants to know, what's your favorite song to perform live?
Favorite song that varies, by the way. Big up to Gino. It varies because I'll go to a point where like Angel was my favorite record to perform because I just love to see it. It just moves people and they sing along to it. But I think right now I'm enjoying Looking Lovely.
Oh.
Right, because I have a whole little thing that I do with it, just to get the girls' attention, you know. And like one thing for sure is that women like to be complimented.
Yes, they do.
You know, fellas, you gotta figure it out. You know, if she asks you how she look in the jeans, say good.
And add another adjective on there as well. Why not?
Yeah, it's good. It's the best I've seen. Let me tell you, yeah. And those bag match.
Now, if you notice an accessory, now that's, I mean,
Oh,
those
dude,
are some
that's
points.
extra points right there.
That's
you know
points.
What I'm saying? So for me, yeah, when you turn around and you say, you know, tell old girls, say, yo, turn the selfie around, turn your phone on selfie, and like, might I say you looking lovely this evening? It's like
That's it. It's a heart melt.
yeah, you know, it catches you there. So I'm enjoying doing that with the crowd now and giving them that vibe. You know what I mean? So it varies. You know,
That's a good vibe to have.
If I have to say one out of my classic, it's always Mr. Boombastic.
Now, I do have to ask you, imagine how many times on the street you got stopped, and what are they saying, Mr. Bombastic? Are they saying, it wasn't me?
Wasn't me. A lot of
Which one
wasn't me.
I mean, there's so many to go for, right?
You do get Mr. Lover when they're talking to you, but if you see just somebody seeing and you know, Shaggy, wasn't me.
And you're like, I know. I know.
I said, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Now, is it true? I did read this. Is it true that you're constantly writing music, but you literally sometimes will just be like, okay, this is not working. I'm throwing it out. I'm not doing these songs. I'm not.
Oh yeah, I have way more songs sitting on my computer than what I've ever released. Because on a good day, if I'm on a good day, I'll write 4 songs a day. On a good day. I haven't done that in a while though.
Right. I was gonna say, I mean, you basically have more albums under your belt right now.
No, because you know what it is. In my earlier days, I had to do that when I had like my managers and everybody controlling everything for me. And
Yeah.
as you get bitten over the years, you like, you know, I got everything got to come through me. And so you start controlling your destiny and running your career and doing everything, and everybody being in the know of everything, and that is time consuming.
Yeah.
And then now I got kids and wife, and when I was younger, I didn't worry about them. But I sat down and I never used, in my early albums, I never wrote songs. I just kind of had them in my head. So I'd go in the booth and just like spit them.
Without even writing.
Yeah, I never wrote them down. I started writing them down after a while. Because it got harder, you know, because I wasn't just getting up every morning and just reciting,
Right.
you know, rhymes in my head and melodies in my head and all of that. You know, I was taking phone calls and doing emails and answering lawyers and answering.
So are you thinking, you get up in the middle of the night and say, I have an idea for a song, and you're writing, or you wake up and you're just writing?
Them time my whole day was just that. My whole
Okay.
thing was just like, because I was around people who were creatives like that. So that's how we do. We spar every day.
Right.
So my thing would, I'd get up every morning and think about how I'm going to spar with like a Red Fox, how I'm going to spar with like a Screechy Don, or spar with Ray, these guys that I hung with, who they were lyricists also. And you want to come with that fresh rhyme when you see them.
Yeah.
And we would all run into and end up at night around 8 o'clock around the sound system spitting these joints. You know what I mean? And everybody wanted to have that fresh stuff. So I'd be making stuff up in the day.
It's like the inspiration, just like
Yeah,
in and
it was
out.
just like,
Yes.
it's a different time now.
Right.
These guys, they all got kids, and you know, you call them, it's like, yeah, I got school in the morning. I got PTA meeting.
You're like, I'm going to make a rap about the great PTA meeting.
I just did a song called "I'm Okay," and then the song really is about, you know, I just want to stay home. You know what I mean? I got a cold one sipping, my feet up chilling, remote's in my hand, but my TV's tripping. Got laid off, but I ain't saying nothing because I'm gonna be okay. and the bills keep coming. My wife's still nagging, the rent's overdue, but she's still shoe shopping. So I didn't marry her for her cooking, but I'm gonna be okay.
Do you know that's like an anthem? I feel like there's so many people can probably just relate to that and be like, it's not a club song.
No,
but
it's
boy,
just
it's hitting. It's hitting.
Okay, I don't need the money, girl. Okay.
Just picturing you on that couch with like a beer in your hand.
So and it's crazy. I might put it on the deluxe of this record too, to be honest,
think
because it's
you
such a
should.
great record. But the thing about that record is, there's a line in there where I call all my friends, but they all got work, right? Mm-hmm. I might as well just go back to work, because all my friends. They're all working. All the friends that I hang out with got jobs. I can't, I come off tour and I'm like, let me go holler at such and such. I've been touring. I come off, I'm going. My boy's like, yo, bro, I gotta be up earlier.
I think we know where this next album is headed.
Yeah. And then some of the guys that I'm talking to now, they're of my age, so
right.
they have families. And if I got to hang out with the younger kids now, and they got a whole separate problems that I just can't relate to. I'm like, yo, bro, in my time that never happened.
But tell me that this young generation, you can look and be like, do you know who I am? Do you know this? Like, do you know?
I mean, they know the songs. The good thing about this generation is, like, my audience is very mixed these days. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But so they know the songs. Everybody knows. Like, they're gonna know Mr. Boombastic and Wasn't Me. They're not gonna go deep dive into the catalog,
right?
Like your fans would, but for most of the younger kids, they'll know those big records,
Absolutely.
Because it's like part of their day-to-day life,
So how did you pick the songs that came onto this record? Talk a little bit about the process to make a selection that came and became Lottery, became the story that you told here.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up going back and changing stuff. I had it one way. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, I don't make an album. I end up abandoning it.
Just with all the other music that you're writing?
Yeah, because I keep changing stuff.
Right.
So I just got to I got to get a date. Hey, like my they always look at me and says, hey, just so you know, Willie, who does radio for you, says, summer isn't waiting. We might need to go, And so at that point, I have to sit down and be like, okay, let me put this, let me do this. And I wanted to say something like, God is amazing. I opened the album with that record because it was, in a way, relatable to people telling you can't do something. And I'm like, yeah, you're haters, but I only listen to God. God is amazing. You know what I mean? You can talk all you talk, and say what you're gonna say, right? And whatever it is, God is amazing. Whatever you're trying to do to hold me down, God is amazing. Mm-hmm. I'm walking with God. And then you do things like work, which is very relatable. So I gotta work, and I got needs now, yeah. Even if I gotta bleed now, yeah. I gotta work, you know what I mean? Because and I sit down because I'm around people who just love to work. And there are people who got to work. You gotta figure out what it is. And you just wanna come from the perspective of, in that song, you come from the perspective of somebody who's got to work.
Right.
So you hear the pain of why he's got to work and how he's not, that he's going through. Getting up every day, and just really standing up for his responsibility. And there's a lot of, people, especially in this generation now, where they're just like, they're not going to really stand up for their responsibility. Just like, because I see a lot of people who are just lazy. And we're coming into a generation of that because everything is done for us. This little device here does, like I'm doing promotion with it. I'm sitting here with you in person. Mm-hmm. Most people is like, promo.
Right. It's a different form of communication, but
you and I were talking earlier about just having social.
Right, interaction.
Social interaction, and you don't see a lot of that now.
It's almost like going to a concert, which, by the way, he will be tonight at the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Yes.
And what you're going to see might be phones.
Oh, tons, every time. But then, everything is threatened by AI these days, because at the end of the day, you hear the music, and some of these AI music sound really good. And, you're looking at concerts being threatened. You saw what ABBA did with the hologram, and they didn't miss a beat with that.
We don't want a Shaggy hologram. We want a real Shaggy.
I would like the real Shaggy also. But there's something to be said of where technology is taking us. And it's very uncertain right now. So, who knows what's down. So these things that you have, you kind of have to cherish. Like that's what we have it on vinyl. It's like a piece of history that you're cherishing, because you're at the last days of great music being made.
But I love that the vinyls are coming back. The younger generation is really bringing back the
you and I were
vinyls.
talking about
yes, what's old is new.
Yeah, what's old is new. You see people start smoking again, because they want to socialize.
Right.
I think drinks are going to come back again too.
Because we're socializing.
Yes, socializing.
And connecting.
It's going to come back.
And you can also shop the record, right? With signed copy.
Yes.
Here, if you click the shop button, we're talking about CDs and vinyls are signed by Shaggy, so make sure you click that shop button.
They're beautiful too.
They are beautiful.
Yes.
I know. They're such a nice piece of art.
Because they're making vinyls way better than before how they used to be.
Of course.
The look of them and
the colors.
The color, everything is different.
Think about it. They're an art piece as well. You can display them. You can actually take them out. You can display them whether it's on your table. Yeah. So I think it serves a dual purpose. But yes, if you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, comment the word shop. You're going to get a link directly into your DM to purchase. YouTube, click the link in subscription. So we were talking earlier how we have seen so much globally as well for reggae and dancehall at the forefront right now, and you're so happy about it. But being one of the pioneers for it, are you excited about the movement? Are you like, what took you so long? I mean, the fact that you sort of paved the way for this now.
I love what's going on now, though. I think these kids are finally going to get it. I've always said in a lot of my interviews that dancehall and where it's going is not going to be done by me, Buju, or Sean, or any of these guys. It's the new generation that's going to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like where it's turning now. Where it was a little dark. Now I see it turning to where, we might get. We might get huge chart action happening. And which is what I'm hoping for. Because, Sean and I, we did that.
Right.
We had that Wayne Wanda, we had those records. These guys did that. Elephant Man, all these guys, they did their thing. Shabarang, Supercat, they did their thing. It's for this generation now to hit past the ceiling. There's a lot of dancehall music hit a ceiling. But I'm seeing the vibe and the energy moving to where, and the audience has gotten bigger. It's got back to cool. I remember back in the early days in 1995, 93, 95, around that time, dancehall was the big music. All the rappers used to want to be in dance. They wanted to be. Now I'm seeing that kind of coming back in the cool factor of it.
Yes. And I have actually a fan question that, speaking of that, Sasha, who are you listening to? Any young artists?
Oh, a lot of them. Skillet Bang is dope. I like Skipper right now. That's doing real nice. Massacre is killing it right now too. So there's a lot of them that I'm zeroed in on. On the soca side of stuff is like Kes is still my guy. So there's a lot of new artists that I'm into. Shensia, I can't leave the females out. Shensia, Spice. So I'm a fan of all of them, man. Molly. Molly is killing it. Her sound is just super unique. So I'm a big fan of them, man.
Kathleen, are you touring this summer?
I am. After I'm finished with this play.
Yes, we're going to talk about this, by the way. But go ahead, tour.
Yeah, probably around end of June, July. Down for the rest of the year, I'm going to be focusing on doing some dates.
Okay, this one might be a little tough, but what's your favorite song on the new album? It's always hard. It's like picking your favorite kid, no?
It is hard. That's going to vary from time to time. Like at one point I was loving Boom Body. It was my joint, just the energy of what it was. But Looking Lovely has always been, I've had that song for so long that I wrote it for years ago, like probably around 10 years that I wrote that record. It was
Really?
just sitting around, yeah. Like even with Spice record, Godong Day, I had that for over 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
And then it wasn't me, I had for like.
Can only imagine what other gems were going to pop out here.
I had that for probably like 2 or 3 years before I got it out. So, you know, sometimes I just write, and some songs you can't put out until it's the right time.
Right.
Sometimes it's the right artists and the right feats, you know, so, you know. But I like Looking Love. I think it's just a really beautiful. There's a song with Rayvon, In the Name of Love. Beautiful song. I love that one too.
And this is why we need to buy the album so we can listen to all these amazing gems that Shaggy's been sitting on for 10 years and now unleashing them into the world. But okay, first of all, we have a new album, but let's not forget that now you decided to be a theater star as well. Now you're shooting a movie at the same time.
Yeah.
Are you tired?
I mean, I didn't decide to be a theater star. I think Sting decided that for me.
Sting decided. And when Sting says you have to do theater, you do theater, Shaggy.
You do theater, yeah. I mean, the thing with Sting, he's always willing to put me into some uncomfortable situations, like energies of, you know, when the projects come, it's always like left field. Like we did a Sinatra album in reggae called Come Fly With Me. So I'm singing Frank Sinatra hits in one drop reggae, and Sting is producing it. And it was like crazy.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, you know, so it's these things that we think up and just, hey, let's try this. And so the musical came up, and he wrote it, rewrote it, and said, hey, I got a part for you. And next minute I'm doing theater, and next minute I'm seeing people giving us standing ovation every night, and they were like, okay, all right, I guess this.
You're like, I like this.
Yeah, this is how this works. You know? So yeah.
That's amazing. All right, I know we're going to wrap, but one last question. So if you had to describe this album to someone who hasn't heard anything, they're going to buy it, they're going to listen to it for the first time, how would you sell it?
Orgasmic. Orgasmic. Prepare to be climaxed. Musical. It's a musical climax.
There you have it.
You will have an orgasm.
Shaggy, it's been such a pleasure having you on. Thank you. We're so excited for the album. I want to remind everyone, this is signed. If you support, you love Shaggy, which I know you all do, make sure to click that shop button. It's signed CD or vinyl, a beautiful vinyl. So make sure to add to your cart. If you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, comment the word shop. You're going to get a link directly to your TM. And YouTubers, you know what you're going to do. You're going to go to that link in subscription and get your signed copy now. I think it's only right that we sign off with the video for Looking Lovely so our viewers can watch.
Yes, big up to Robin Thicke, who came and did a lot of promo with me. Great guy to do a record with because he shows up, you know. So I'd just like to thank him for that, and just you know, he was just an incredible sport and a wonderful dude to work with.
Amazing.
So, and this one is for the ladies.
Thanks for watching.
Well, you know this one goes. It's Robin Thicke, alongside Mr. Lover. Me love the way you walk. Me love the way you talk. You're looking good, me walk. Shaggy.
Might I say that you look lovely this evening?
Yeah.
You're beautiful and it shows. And I can't help but say how I'm feeling. Just thought that you should know. Listen, baby, I'm loving you, yeah, I'm loving you. So lovable, yeah, I'm loving you. Your eyes, your smile, incredible, yeah, I'm loving you. So incredible, I'm loving you, yeah, I'm loving you. So lovable, yeah, I'm loving you. Your eyes, your smile, incredible, yeah, I'm loving you. So incredible.
Baby girl, I'm loving you. Soft kisses on your face while hugging you. Let me take you to a place just for me and you. Lovely lady, anywhere you want, fly, I'll make your gray skies blue. A treat fitted to a way, just to show you how much you mean to me. Not for hide, for we love, no secrecy. Bon voyage, set sail on the love seas.
Your perfection, baby. You're all I need.
Wow, yeah.
So infectious, lady. Yes, indeed.
please. Give me the loving tonight and stop tease. Girls say me want your body, you know me need somebody, and only you can supply me needs. Baby, when you step in, you stilettos and heels. You have me like a hamster running on wheels. And when me reminisce on your kiss, girl, I just can't resist. You want me hooked like magnet to steel.
Might I say that you look lovely this evening?